Look what you did, you little jerk!
What's going on, Jerk Faces? Welcome to another episode of the Circle of Jerks podcast, remote edition.
Corona edition.
Yeah, Corona edition. And I'm actually really excited to have this next guest on with us. A friend of mine, I would say even a brother of mine, for a long time, lives across the country. So this is actually technically the only way we could do it. So maybe not a Corona edition, but it's a remote edition. I'm really excited to have this guy. I've known since my days in the Navy. We've had a lot of interesting adventures together. The guy's got 1,000 stories. Charming, funny, crazy, jackass. He'll fit right in. So without further ado,
jackass. I'm an asshole.
My good friend and brother David Blake. Welcome to the podcast.
What's going on, fellas?
Yeah.
It's a good thing to be on here, man. Andy, nice to meet you. I know we talked yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah. This isn't the first take, as it were. Yesterday was just a garbage day. I just put it plainly, it was a garbage day. Everything was just not going right. I don't know, I don't know if it was just like infrastructure wise or what have you, but yeah, the internet was just garbage that day, and this whole host of technical issues. But now they seem more or less resolved today. So so we're already ahead. In my book, we're already ahead.
Oh yeah.
Well, all right. Well, why don't we? It's something that for the viewing public. Why don't you tell Dave? Why don't you tell the story of how we became friends? Because I know Andy loves hearing all these alternate versions of me, like growing up, or like how different people view me. For some reason, he gets a sick satisfaction out of hearing these stories.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've only known him for Robert for like about 4 years or so, and so I want to know every facet of Robert.
I've gone through many evolutions. You grow up, you change, you evolve.
Exactly. So, I mean, I know this version of Robert, which admittedly we are pretty similar.
I'll give you a small little analogy of Robert of when I first met him.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yes, David. Just you have the floor. Take it away.
I like to talk. Sometimes it's not hard to get me started when I do, but Robert, man, it was like somebody who wants to go find Bigfoot out in the damn forest. You could not get this boy out of his shell for nothing. You couldn't find the enthusiasm to get him to crack him out of his shell, unless you took us behind the church. Them Asian girls, man, they got him wrapped, boy. He might not be getting none, but he was wrapped.
Well, I mean, that aspect of Robert I do know because that aspect of Rob I do know.
My ex-girlfriend was Korean, kind of a complete crazy person. My current girlfriend is Chinese, and that's actually going a lot better though.
Now, the Korean girl, was she from North or South Korea?
South Korea.
she didn't want to jump that border.
Wasn't communist crazy. It was a different type. It was just typical normal girl crazy.
But
Well-
yeah, the girl had a lot. I mean, I met this girl and had several interactions with her. Yeah, it's just kind of like the typical like insecurities. But I don't know. It's just because you're in it, it just seems worse than it probably is for maybe like the outside observer. But like
Yeah.
I wasn't even that close to it, and I wasn't even that close to her, and I still felt the crazy on her.
Well, I will say this. I will say this is me and him would get on the damn PlayStation together and we would play.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time we were on the damn game together, just BSing and everything,
Mm-hmm.
she's blowing up his phone.
That mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
And you can hear it, and you could hear it in his voice. It was like Robert is such a nice guy. He don't want to disappoint nobody. I finally had to tell him, I was like, look, dude, just text her back or turn off the damn phone. Text her back and say, hey, look, I'm chilling out with my boy from 3,000 miles away. I'll text you back in a few. And it was literally like love him to death. And, I got kids of my own, and I hear this, man, I gotta go. She ain't gonna stop. I was like, all right, man. You go deal. Go deal with
okay.
dude.
I got a story for you, but I'm not gonna say it right now because I don't want to put my boy on blast. But after we record, I have a story for you.
Oh no, okay. So here's one thing. So one thing is because she doesn't watch. One thing, she doesn't watch this show, so I don't give a fuck. So.
Okay, so do I have your permission to tell the story?
Well, I don't know if we're gonna be telling the same story, but I'll start with mine first, and then if it's the same story, let me know.
Okay.
So, anyways, Andy is Andy. He's a jerk. Yeah, it's like but he's unapologetic about it, and that's fine. That's why him and I are friends. And he would just be a dick to her, but in a funny way. And it's like, and it was one of those people who would react to everything, and instead of just like you got to let it roll off your back,
Yeah.
But no, she would like, oh my god, Andy, why would you do such a thing? And so of course, that inspires Andy to just like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna keep going. And I remember we were asleep in bed, and like 3:00 in the morning I'm fucking like I'm out, and she like keeps like kicking and punching me awake, and it's like, Robert, does Andy hate me? This is why he fucking woke me up for once. It's like, no, he doesn't hate you. Jesus Christ. If he hated you, he wouldn't talk to you.
Hell no. I hate you. I can still talk to you. Especially.
No, but it's just because she she wanted me to like her so much. She was like she was too thirsty for my respect. And so so every time she saw me, she would ask like, "Oh, Andy, did you miss me?" And then I'd look her dead straight in her face and I say, "Not even a little bit."
That's awesome. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, but that's not the story that I was thinking about. But again, since it wasn't the same story, I'm gonna.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, fine. All right. Well, okay. Here it goes. Here we go. Okay. Me and Robert, it was kind of like the beginning of when we started the podcast, and I'd come over to shoot with him.
Oh,
and then,
I know this.
No, and so
was happy with me.
Anyway, yeah, I was hating him. His ex was hating him. The one time that me and his ex were like kind of kind of on the same wavelength that day. So I come over to shoot with him, and things kind of got off track a little bit time wise, and so I got there and I set up, and it was and so it was so we decided that we were gonna go eat lunch, but his ex wanted to also go shopping to pick up to make dinner for us. And so, we decide to go eat pho. We go to this restaurant nearby, but it's packed, and the wait is more than we are willing to suffer through. And so we decided, all right, let's just go to the store, pick up the supplies, come back and shoot. And I don't know if there was some sort of miscommunication between Rob and his ex, but he was thinking that that they were gonna go to this Korean market close by to his place. But in her mind, she thought that we were going to a Korean, in her opinion, a better Korean market that was much further away. And so Robert pulls into the one closest to his apartment, and she starts having a tantrum. It's like, whoa, I thought we were going to the other one, and da da da. And then Robert was trying to explain to her, hey, we got things to do. We planned on recording a few videos and things like that. So we can't go all the way to the one that you wanted to go. So let's just make do and get it from this place, and then so we can go back and start doing what we have to do. And she just keeps more and more, like she's just kind of having a tantrum. And Robert just we haven't even he hasn't even parked the car yet. We're still driving through the parking lot, and then he just because Robert just doesn't want to deal anymore, so he immediately heads out of the parking lot. And so I'm thinking to myself, Robert, what are you doing? Right? I was like, Robert, we got things to do. Turn this car around right now. And he said, you won't believe what he said. You won't believe what he said to me. She's just gonna get angry at me, and she's not gonna shut up. And so we drive all the way to this Korean market that's further away. That's practically next to my house. That's how far away it was from Robert's place.
Oh Lord.
And so it's one of the rare times that both me and Robert's ex were kind of on the same wavelengths. We're hating Robert right now.
Now, granted, Andy, you don't have to sleep next to her at night, so it's like.
Well, yeah.
But I let him know. I was like, hey, you had me in the car. I would have backed you up. I would have backed you up and say, hey, bitch, we got shit to do. Shut the fuck up. That's what I would have said to her if she puffed again about about not going to that other supermarket. I would have been like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Let me ask you this. You gonna put his balls in your mouth at night?
Touche.
There are times, man, that you got to make that compromise.
I realize that. But if Robert had just stood up, I think if Robert had just stood up to her this one time, I think it would have been awesome.
Oh man,
I'm sorry I didn't stand up, but it's
let me
right.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this about Robert. Robert, from what I remember of him, and from what I used to be around him, because we were around each other a lot, and this dude, he'll take so much. He'll take so much, and then that's when he dishes it out. We at our first command when he first got there. I don't think she was there yet. The little CS3 Watts.
I don't know if I remember this story.
Watts. You remember Watts?
Oh yeah. Okay, I do remember her.
Well, Robert had, since he was an E3, he had his third class petty officer, which wasn't the girl that I just mentioned. It was another girl, and she was cool. She was all kinds of
Yeah,
cool.
she was awesome, dude.
And for the life of me, I wish I could remember her name, but I can't. But she would always come in. She never had a sour, if she had a sour attitude, she'd let you know. Well, this one girl, Watts, I don't know what the hell she did to Robert or how long it had been going on. But we got back, we were in, you were van pulling with us at one time, weren't you?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, when he first got to the command, he was van pulling with us, and then he ended up getting his vehicle. Well, he would give her rides periodically, just to help her out and stuff. And I don't know I don't know if she was helping him, stop helping him with gas money and everything like that, or leaving trash in the car. That was one of Robert's pet peeves back then. Was you don't leave trash in his car. Trust me, I found that out my damn self. Well, he stopped giving this girl rides, and she kept annoying him about giving her a ride. And finally, he looked at her and said, "Look here, this is my vehicle. You want a ride? Get your own damn ride. There's a bus. Take the bus. Get a job." And I'm like, she got a damn job.
I totally forgot about this.
She's insanity. What the hell? She gets a free, and she literally, it was a free ride. She would get a free ride because we had a van pool at the command, and it was free for her to take the shuttle bus from our command back over to the Naval Hospital barracks.
Mhm.
And she, I don't like feet, and she would constantly touch me with her feet,
Oh,
and it was the nastiest
Yeah.
thing, man.
I'm the same way. I hate it.
Like, I have no problem with anybody, but if you touch me with your feet, you might find me with a butcher knife in my hands. Them things was ashy.
Oh.
And yes, just in case the listeners are listening, yes, she was black. I don't care if she's black, white, purple, polka dots, whatever. You got some nasty ass feet, stay them away from me. Ain't no telling what people had on their feet, man. That's nasty.
Trust me,
Mhm.
my ex would always like constantly piss me off by like pushing her feet in my face. Like she knew I hated it, and she would still do it. Fuck, get those fucking feet away from me.
This girl, and the worst part about
did
it.
she ever snot on your hand?
What?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah, it's a question. It was a question for Robert.
Not on my hand, but like on like other parts of me. Yeah.
Okay.
She did
Yeah,
what?
no. Oh, because the first night that I met his ex, like she snotted on my hand.
She snotted on your hand?
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, like okay. Like she had, we were doing a bit of drinking and what is it? And Rob's. I mean, not to give too much away because I don't want to put this poor girl on blast. But she. Okay, fine. Okay, she had like she had like this hip problem, and one of her legs was longer than the other, and like she grew up with like people teasing her about it and things like that, which contributed to her insecurity. And then she met me, because of my my disability, and she saw that how cool I was, and and how normal of a person I was. She because of the aforementioned drinking, kind of weakened the defenses, and she started like crying. She's talking about like how she got bullied, and like and then and like she was she's getting sobby, and boogers were running down her nose. And then she grabbed my hand, and then she like was like, "I'm so glad I met you," and like put my hand and basically snotted on my hand.
Oh no! Oh no!
Uh,
Oh, no.
yeah, I was like, which which I think might explain a little bit of my hostility towards his girlfriend. So when she would ask me like if I missed her, and I would say not even a little bit.
Oh, you know what I would have done?
Do tell.
I'd have told her to look, to each her own, but me, if you drunk and you been drinking and you crying, look, everybody's ugly when they cry. I don't care who you are. Love you, hate you, whatever. You start going, you ugly. Okay? People gonna hate me for that, and I don't care. But
You're so mean.
you're ugly, dude. Get over it. I'd have literally have grabbed her hand and looked at it, and I'd have blew my damn nose all up in her hand and slapped her in the face with it. Well, either that, I'd have just wiped her face with her hand as she's crying and had the tears and the snot all up in her hand, and I'd have just said, you got snot all over me. My hands are not no tissues. Take your shit back. And I'd have rubbed her hand all over her face. I'd have let it get all up in the eyes and everything like that. That to me, that is
Now I can imagine how this scenario. Had you been there instead of Andy in this situation, dude, that would have been one hellacious. Like I probably would not have gone to sleep that night. 'Cause, how dare you? It's like.
and I'd have been right there sitting in a corner going, "How dare me? How dare you? You snotted all up on me."
No. It would have been in person. I would have like at night when I'm trying to sleep. This is when I would hear it.
No, because I'd have been, hey, you could have came in there and got me out of the damn living room and said, "Hey, look, can you come deal with this shit for me, please? Explain your reasoning behind it." And I'd have said, "Okay, not a problem." Sometimes you gotta take that foot and put it up somebody's ass for them to understand.
Mhm.
But
But I
man,
would,
I had totally forgotten that story about Watts. Dude, that was I totally forgot about that.
oh man, she was a trip. I was born, I was raised here in the South. Okay,
Mhm.
Andy. This is I don't I date. I'm not racist. Like I said before, I hate everybody equally.
Mhm.
Um, not racist at all. I was raised to because I'm 38 years old. I was raised to, hey, you're white, you date white people. Blacks, they'll date blacks. Sorry if you're black. I don't say African American. I say black. You're not from Africa. Sorry.
Mhm.
But God, y'all are really gonna get some hate for this.
Yeah.
Andy's
I mean,
like,
I don't much care. I mean, you bring it on. Bring it on.
Andy's like, I'm gonna kill Robert later. We got this.
Little do you know, I am always trying to offend, so I can rouse the controversy, so I can arouse the trolls to come out and bombard us. I don't care. Interaction's interaction. A comment is a comment.
Well, here, let me let me get back to the question at hand, though, about how I knew him since he was in the Navy and everything.
Uh,
Um, he was the youngest at the command. I was the youngest at the command. So they turned around and put me with him to be a mentor.
mhm.
And I don't think they should have done that. Of course, I was probably the most qualified there to be his mentor anyway, even though we were like 4 or 5 years apart. But
Mhm.
I was, like I told you yesterday, I had a chief that rode me no matter what I did.
Right,
You
right.
know, she always thought, that, I had more potential than what I was leading on. Yeah, I was a slacker. I didn't have parents when I was growing up. It was just me and my little brother. And
Mm.
excuse me. So I had my grandparents, and my grandmother passed away when I was graduating high school. So I started working and, you know, got into the military and met Robert, and God, it was like I was hanging out with this pasty white kid, and it was like everywhere we went, I got him, and he was potentially, literally like my little brother. I
Mm.
couldn't. I felt, if I went to the mall or something, or I went somewhere, I felt bad for, leaving him behind in the barracks and stuff, and him having to deal with that one Filipino son of a bitch that
Dude.
always had it. This guy, I'm talking about, he had it hard for Robert, man. I don't know what it was. I don't know what Robert did to this dude. I don't know if it was just because he was white and this guy was
Mhm.
Filipino. Oh man, if he could get Robert in trouble, he would. And it was like it was. That's why I kept turning around and it was like, yeah, I need to see what Robert's doing. I need to get him the hell out of here. But we
Fucking
would go
hated.
somewhere. We would go somewhere, and it was like I would try to test Robert and see if he
Mhm.
would go up to different chicks and talk to them and see who they were.
Mhm.
And like I could walk up to them and not, start a conversation, not have a problem. And I'd turn around and it was like, almost, it was kind of like seeing a little kid in the corner who was in trouble for, for, for trying to looking at a piece of candy, you know? It was like, it was kind of almost like he was a scared little kid outside the candy shop looking inside, and he's just going, but I want to talk too, but I can't. Trouble. And and I and to be honest with you, like I'd never been around somebody like Robert,
Mhm.
and I was when I went to school, it was I can get along with everybody.
Mhm.
You know, preps, jocks. Um, Heck, I stayed around the Gothic kids, because that's what I related to more.
Mm.
And you know, I was probably the only white. I was probably the only I'll say copper skin because I'm a golden brown. But I had a fro, dude. My senior,
Nice.
halfway through my senior year, I had a afro,
Nice.
and it was it was weird. But you know, seeing how he was with some of the women, especially around town, and then he comes to me I think it was like a Wednesday or something like that. We just got finished PTing, and I guess he told his mom and his dad about me. And he was like, "Hey," he's like, "I'm going up to go see my parents this weekend. My mom and my dad this weekend. You want to come with me?" I had never been from Camp Pendleton. I had never been anywhere past Camp Pendleton, except for up by San Clemente and everything. I'd never been past San Clemente.
Right.
Well, he tells me, he's like, "Yeah, we're going to go to, what was it, San Bernardino Valley or something like that?"
San Fernando Valley, yeah.
Yeah, San Fernando. And I'd never been there. So I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And Friday come rolling around, and we, load up his car, and we start heading up that way. And I started looking around, and I'm like, I thought we were in the wrong damn area code. Started looking around, there ain't no white people. It was nothing but Asian. And it freaked me out, man. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, all right. Didn't even, I don't go to church. Like I told you and everything. I don't go to church. I got my beliefs and everything like that. But Robert looked at me and he was like, "Hey," he's like, "Sunday morning, we're gonna get up, and I got to go to church." What? So meet his mom and his dad. Told them where I was from, and we had good conversation and stuff. And mom and dad told me what they did and where they worked, and I'm very fascinated with aircrafts, especially the F-14 Tomcats and all that. And they told me about oh yeah, they told me about it and everything like that. And I started talking to his dad about the F-22 Raptors and everything. And he told me some stuff, cool shit and stuff about what he does at his job, or what he used to do at his job. And that was awesome. And that was Friday. Saturday we had chili. We made chili that night. And then
without beans, right? Because I know how Robert gets about beans.
Oh, I can't remember. I think no, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't with beans, because that's not chili. There is a whole chili council. I don't know how many times I have to tell you, Andy. There is a chili council, and they
I know. There's a chili council. They decree that that chili does not have beans, and blah 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 blah. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. That becomes a stew when you start putting beans in there. That's not chili.
Anyway. So he turns around. We turn around. We go to bed and everything, and I had some lingering. I'd always made fun of. I did make fun of him a little bit, and I know it. I probably irked him and made hurt his feelings and everything. And but like I told him, it's all fun and games, and he's probably gonna kill me right now. But I woke up before him that Sunday morning, and his mom had always met all the guy friends and everything like that would come over to the house. And I don't think she met any females ever that he hung out with. And it might have been because he was probably worried that mom might be a little too tough on him, because her little baby boy.
Wait, hold on a second. So I'm gonna interject here for a second. The reason I didn't do that is because my mom was like relentless. Like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna, she would be like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna have grandchildren. Oh, it's just like, Mom, like, I'm, at this point I'm like 17, 18, 19 years old. It's like I'm not starting like a fucking family at 19 years old. Like for God's sake, leave like
Well,
don't. Anytime I brought a girl over, it was that conversation. It's like, yeah, this is not the conversation to be had, right now. This is really embarrassing.
yeah, but you got to understand though. Here you are.
The first girl that I ever brought to meet my parents, uh, I mean, because there was a few like before her, but like it was my ex. That was the first person I actually brought to meet my parents.
You should have taken that one that we was talking about yesterday home. She was pretty.
Oh, they knew about her though, like, but I never like brought her to like my house.
I think you were worried.
I get it. Yeah, you
Well,
don't want to hear. You don't want to constantly be hearing the lecture or whatever, or like or have like the parents chase away the girl because they're like, oh, like when are you having babies? Like I just met this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
But so I get, I ended up waking up early for whatever reason, and Robert, he was still over there snoring his ass off, and and I'm like, you know, I'm the new guy, so I'm like, I'm not, unless I hear somebody out there, I'm not getting up and getting out this room. I'm not going nowhere.
Mhm.
And so, I started hearing this little rustling around and stuff out in the living room. I get up and I went out and I made me something to drink. There's his mom and his dad,
Mhm.
and they told me that they were up at like the damn crack of dawn,
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
typical of them.
and it was like, you want some coffee? And no, I don't drink coffee. It'll run right through me. No, I'm good, thank you though. But so I sit down and Robert they had this dog, and jumps in my lap as soon as I sat down.
Mhm.
Yep,
Was
that,
petting
that was
and everything.
Bosco.
Huh?
That was Bosco. Yeah, I had him. We actually had to put him down this past year, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But yeah, we had him for a long time.
But yeah, that dog was sitting up in my lap, and his mom, you know, sat down, probably about two cushions away from me, and was talking to me about him. And I told her, I said, he's a good guy. From what I've seen of him and stuff, I have a lot of respect for him and stuff, and you know, will always, as long as he stays the person that he is.
Mhm.
And as long as he don't lie to me or tell nobody no lies about me and stuff, we'll be good forever. And she said, can I ask you a question? And
Lord.
there there was a million questions running through my head
Mhm.
about Robert.
Mhm.
'Cause you got to look at it from my perspective. Is I'm looking at this kid, I'm looking at this guy like he's my little brother, and
Mhm.
he's not talking to no females. There's no
Right.
women he would talk to. He would approach them with me and stuff, but it was a barely, it was a hi, how you doing, that type of thing.
Mhm.
But it was no, hey, can I get you a drink? Can I get you something to eat? Nothing like that.
Mhm.
And his mom kind of put him on the spot with a certain question, and I'm not gonna say the question.
No, you can't, because to be honest, my mom asked this like of several of my friends, not just you. And
Oh,
I
I
didn't
know.
know. I didn't know that she asked you this because my friend Peter, who has also been on our podcast, has been my friend for a long time. Yeah, my mom asked him this question too. It's like, what the fuck?
I, Andy, like I told you yesterday, this was actually the first time I'd ever met his mom and dad.
Right.
And as cool as they are, this lady looks at me dead in my face, no smile, no nothing. is my son gay? And I'm like, well, if he is, you gotta, I don't think so, but if he is, you gotta love him no matter what. And growing up where I grew up, there was no gays.
Mm-hmm.
And if you did like a dude, it was kept inside. It was kept behind doors. There was no flaunting it out in public.
Right.
And whenever I first seen it, I was actually in California. That was the first
Mm.
time I'd ever seen two guys hold hands before. Well, I looked at her and told her, I said, you got to love him for who he is. He's still your son, no matter what. And then we went to church.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, this white dude is going to be taking me to a nice, it's diverse church.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I walked up in there and he was the only white person up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess Robert was a diversity up in there.
It was, yeah, there was no black people. If I had thicker hair, like an Asian fella, and my face was, shaved off, and
Mm-hmm.
back then, man, dude, I was dark complexion compared to what I am now. But
Yeah. Believe it or not, I was darker too.
he, that youngin right there, man, that was like putting some coal in the middle of the road and then throwing some snow in it, right in the middle of between some two pieces of coal. You got snow right there, man. That boy was white. A damn the KKK sheets, man. They didn't have nothing on this boy. It was like, and then I seen it. Like I was telling you yesterday. Then I seen it because this pretty little Asian girl come walking up,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know what to make of her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still, I felt like the outcast because here Robert is with all these, with all the with all his little Asian friends and everything. And God, do I really sound that racist right now? Everybody's listening. I promise you, I'm not racist. I just call it like I see it. So he's sitting there, and you got all these you got all the Asian people that knew him, that knows him, and as he's been friends with for a long time. They're all circular. They're all group gathering around him.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was trying to get my word out, not working. But they're all congregating around him, and I'm sitting there going, "What the hell is going on here?" And I finally, just one chick comes walking up, and she's saying hey to him and stuff, and they're, I could hear the trembling of his voice. And hey,
Isn't that the most precious thing you've ever heard?
oh, it gets better. It gets better. I look over at him, and he's the little fat kid in the candy store was coming out. His face was getting red, the sweat up on his forehead peaked up, and it was like the floodgates of the candy store had opened up, and he was able to get whatever he wanted to. And
You got
this
the golden
girl,
ticket.
bro, she was a little cutie, man. I honestly, because I kept,
Hey, I know
telling
my
him,
own people. I know my own people.
yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you what, I think he got kind of pissed off at me a couple times when we hung out with her, and I think he got pissed off with me too when we were hanging out with Peter, because I kept telling him, because we went to a bowling alley one night, I think it was like next weekend we went to the bowling alley, and she was up there.
Mm-hmm.
I kept telling him,
Oh.
I was like, dude, you need to go talk to her. I was like, quit dicking around and go talk to her. There's no shame, man. Go talk to her, man. If that's what you want, go get that Asian thing. Go
Mhm.
for it. And he's sitting there, and there was no more fat kid in the candy store, man. It was all about, self-preservation, and you could see his eyes, man. They were changing. It was like there was smoke coming out of his ears. But I was trying to encourage him to go talk to this girl, and there was just smoke just billowing out like he was a steam engine on a damn train. And I'm sitting there going, "Hey, this dude's not going to go talk to her. What the hell?" And then she came over and talked to him, and we left like 10 minutes later. I was confused as shit. I thought we were there to bowl. We left 10 minutes later. No lie. I don't even think we didn't even bowl. I was like, what the hell happened? He's like, can't stay here. I gotta go.
Robert. Oh, Robert.
Boy, how times have changed.
I was
Oh,
literally
Robert.
like, this dude's heart. It was like watching. It was literally like she come over and talk to him,
Mhm.
and it was like a fatality off of Mortal Kombat.
No, yeah, right.
Chick through his chest, grabbed his heart and his spine, and just pulled. And he turned around and walked out and was like, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's
There's nothing
literally
here for me.
open wound doing this. And it's like, we gotta go. I don't think he went back up there for like another 3 weeks or something like that. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
So there
Oh,
you go.
David, I am so glad you came on. I am so glad you came on. Oh my
hey,
god, my face hurts from laughing so much.
I will say this. No matter how much crap I've given him over the years,
Mhm.
I know for a fact that if I text him or I call him, Robert will pick up the phone for me. It might not be right then and there, but he will text me and say, "Hey, I'm at work. I'll text you later." He has always had my back, and man, I appreciate that more than anything in my life. I promise you.
Yeah, man, always.
But this fool almost got me out the military, man. You remember that one?
And that,
Not about
this is, and
redhead season.
at this point, it's a bad thing, right?
Well, no. Yeah. Because I was,
Right. Yeah, at
I
the
was
time when
trying
it
to
happened, it was okay.
yeah, I was trying to stay in the, I was, wanting to stay in. Well,
Mm-hmm.
what was it? We had went on this. The command had gotten put with a youth organization.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that one, Robert?
I do not.
You don't remember that one?
No, I don't.
The Devil Pups?
I don't remember this.
Oh, you forgot about that one, huh?
Yeah.
You remember the young girl that?
No, I don't remember any of this. So this is like I'm reliving this. Like I might if you tell the story, I might remember some of this shit.
You remember when? You remember when I was going to college?
Yeah.
And you remember the um uh right there before you got to the command, they had the gym, and then they had where they would come and they would bring these teenagers who wanted to be. They would train to be Marines before they went to boot camp and all that.
Vaguely, yeah.
You remember the girl that I told you about that went to UC Davis?
Oh shit. Yeah.
Now you remember.
Well, David, continue so that we can all remember.
You keep telling the story. I'll be right back. You keep telling the story. I'm listening.
All right.
All right. Well.
All right, David, proceed.
All right. So I met this chick. We met at UC Davis. Me and my cousin, we went up there for a frat party, and didn't really ask this girl any questions or anything like that. Just had her name and all that, and didn't even know too much about her. Just knew that she was going to college. Well, she ended up becoming a instructor with this youth group on Camp Pendleton. And like I said, I didn't even know how old she was or anything like that. And, my chief kept telling me, stay away from her. You're not here to, make girlfriends or anything like that. And that's what I was going off of. I didn't want one. And I was having too much fun playing the field. So, well, the girl ended up becoming more or less my girlfriend. And which it was supposed, it was this huge secret between me, Robert, and her. And nobody was supposed, nobody could know, or I'd get in a whole bunch of trouble. Well, like I said, I didn't even know how old she was, man. And I was 22 years old. And, I was 22, 23 years old. And come to find out, she was 16.
Whoa.
Yes, sir. I didn't know that until I went up to UC Davis again to go see her. And I turned around and told her, I was like, yeah, I gotta go.
I know, right? There was just like a David-shaped dust cloud that was left.
Oh no, there was nothing. There was no.
I totally forgot about this story. Oh my god.
Robert, tilt your camera up a little bit.
Yeah, man, we don't need nose. So,
but no, I totally forgot about that story. Yeah, that's right. Man. I can't believe she was 16.
Yeah.
Wow, I know. Jeez. Was she taking classes, or did she graduate early from high school, or was she taking extra credit classes at UCSD, or what was the deal?
Oh, she was a brain, man. She had by the time she was 16, she had 2 associate degrees in mathematics.
Whoa.
Yeah, she was very smart.
She had looks and brains. Rare combination.
Yeah, she was pretty. She was pretty. But she graduated from high school when she was 11 or 13 years old.
Whoa. Oh, we got a Doogie Howser situation.
Yeah, very. Well, what was it? Turn around and, I kept talking to her. Just, I wanted to be a friend. That was it. There was nothing going on. And, told it, and I even told her, I was like, you need me, I'm here. I'll talk to you, whatever. But that's as far as it goes. Well, what was it? Trying to remember this. She invited me. She ended up getting signed up for the Army. And this dude here, Robert, was like, man, don't do it. Don't Don't do it. Yeah, man, I love you, dude. Nah, I still went up there. I was a dummy. I
I
drove
told
across.
you not to do that.
I went from California, and all these people here think I'm scum. And guess what, people? That never happened between me and her. So
I know, I know that that's true, but it's just like the optics were bad.
Right. Yeah. It's
well, once you, hey, I look at it this way: even if you're 17, you get signed up for the military. Guess what? You're an adult.
I mean, that's pretty much, yeah, that's what I
I
did.
mean, yeah, I could follow that logic. Yeah.
I also, like, there's a lot of people that won't believe this. They won't say this, but I will. If you sign up to be in the military, you're putting your foot down and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna go stand and fight for my country." Regardless of what's going on politically or anything like that, regardless of whether or not you agree with what's going on, you sign up, you get told to go, you got to go. Or you get kicked out and you're dishonorably discharged and you're a bastard.
Yeah.
Well, I firmly believe that if you sign on the dotted line, you should be able to go up to that store with your military ID, get a drink, bring your ass home. Plain and simple. But this
Makes
chick,
sense.
man,
Makes sense.
She was too smart for her own good. And I'm not going to say who she is, and I'm not going to down her. She was a very good woman. She's crazy as hell. And I sent Robert some stuff about her that I just recently found out about her.
That's right.
Was she
didn't
one of those? Was she one of those meteoric burnouts?
No, she's no. When we go off camera, I'll tell you.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah.
But behind the paywall, if you will.
Yeah, behind the paywall. Yeah, you want to know the juicy stuff? Yeah, fork it over.
But
it turns out to be like a 2-star general or something.
no, I wish, because I would have quit my day job. I'd let her be. I'd have let that one be my sugar mama. She was a 2-star general. I'd have stayed home with the kids, and I'd have stayed home, and I'd have kept the house clean, and I'd have cooked. But man of my word, I can promise you that. But she's, when I found out her actual age and what was going on, man, I busted away and I left. And like I said, I met her up in Virginia, and we hung out, and I was still under the impression that she was older than what she was saying, older than what she was. And I didn't realize exactly how old she was until I seen her military ID. And I was gone. As soon as I seen that, I was gone. I left. There was no sticking around or nothing. So,
yeah.
I mean,
but I'm going to tell you what, man. As many crazy things that I can say that's ever happened to me, it was the craziest.
Yeah.
And especially after finding out what's happened within the recent years with her and stuff, it was just a fluke, man. I looked her up, to see what was, just to see. I don't know. It was just curiosity, And
right, yeah.
What I found out was I dodged a bullet on that one.
Yes, sir.
Man, I can't wait to find out. Can't wait to find out.
But what was it? No, God, heck, Jesus, heck, even after that, I went to Iraq, and
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
man,
yeah, right.
that was some scary stuff, man. I'm gonna tell you, freaking, I remember I think I wrote Robert a couple emails and stuff while I was over there. Um, Matter of fact, his mom and dad sent me a care package while I was over there. It was, it is. You want a friend, man? Robert's one of the good ones. He won't shoot you in the back, and he won't talk shit about you behind your back. And you know, you might frustrate him and stuff sometimes, and heck, I know I piss him off sometimes, but you know, he's he's always been there. So, but yeah, when I first met him, he was very shy, very shy.
Not so much the case now.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not a
he's more what is it? He's more cantankerous.
Yeah, no, I'm an angry old bastard now. Uh,
well. It's better.
yeah,
It's better to be the pissed off old bastard than be the dirty old man from the trailer park.
no, but that's true. Yeah,
Got you
I'm
there.
definitely not
Got you
the
there.
old man from the trailer park.
Or are you the
Yeah,
dirty old man from the trailer park?
I don't know if I have any friends that are the dirty old man from the trailer park.
I'm talking about you, fool.
I ain't no fucking dirty old man from the. No, you know who the dirty old man from the trailer park is? You haven't met him, but he's one of my good friends. He's a Vietnam vet that I bowl with. Dude, that guy is. He looks like
Oh,
Santa Claus. All jokes on
legitimately. Yeah, that's not an
he
exaggeration. He
literally looks like Santa
legitimately looks like
Claus.
Santa.
And I think of he's I think he, and he's one of the greatest guys. I love him to death. And then every once in a while he'll just throw out these like lines or whatever. It's like, dude, you are a fucking pervert.
Well, all right. I mean,
And it gets me every fucking time. I don't expect it.
all right. Well, let me say this, because I'll give him. I don't know him, but I'll give him props because I'm like I've said, I'm from the South. Um, I was born and raised in South Carolina, and y'all live in California, man. I remember being in Cali, and you know, you could look down the aisle at Walmart and see somebody in a bathing suit.
Yeah.
Here, it's I'm 38 years old. I have two beautiful daughters and two handsome sons and a gorgeous
Nice.
wife, and I love
Two pair.
I love all of them. And I would die for them, and I'd kill for them. I'd do anything for them, anything a husband and a father should do. And the only thing I can't stand is some of these women, some of these girls who walk around in these stores. They ask for people to look at them,
Oh,
and
Andy and I have had these conversations.
I will say
Yeah,
it's
indeed we have.
scandalous because you know they don't think what they're wearing is mildly inappropriate for them to be walking around. But ladies, I'm sorry to tell you, if your ass cheeks are hanging out the back of your shorts, or your camel toe is showing through your skirt or your dress or whatever the hell you're wearing, guess what? You're asking for trouble. Put some damn clothes on.
Hi-yo, there it is.
There is
No, but
no
me and Robert, we talked about this at length, and it always comes up. It's the whole Dave Chappelle argument. during in one of his stand-up specials, he's talking about how like he's in the club and like a woman who's like has like who essentially has her tits and her ass hanging out, and
Yep.
then a guy makes a move, or he says something, and the woman gets offended. It's like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do? It's like
Okay,
it's like,
well,
you may not be a whore, but you are wearing a whore's uniform.
yeah. Well, put the situation on the other foot.
Mhm.
If a guy walks outside, and I'll be bold and I'll say it, if a guy's walking outside and he's got a pair of Marine Corps silkies on, and Andy, if you don't know what I'm talking about, they're shorts. There's like almost like silk shorts, but they're way too small, and they show
Mhm.
everything that the
So-
guy has.
Andy, so you know the Louder with Crowder Ranger panties?
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Ah,
Yeah.
got it.
So
Yeah, but again, that falls within the Dave Chappelle argument too, because he had a retort. It's like
Yeah.
it'd be like me, Dave Chappelle, comedian, went out in a policeman's uniform, and someone came up to me. He's like, officer, help me. It's like, oh, just because I'm dressed this way, I'm supposed to be a policeman?
yeah, that's right. But it's like people people post these videos of these women or these guys walking around in Walmart, and they got these
Yeah, there's an entire like Reddit thread about this. Like people you see at Walmart, and it's like people like who sneak like secret pictures, and like these girls with their like asses hanging out and so on and so forth.
I can go to my local Walmart, okay, and I can guarantee you there's, well, not right now because of this damn coronavirus bullshit. You can go out, when everybody's out in town, go to Walmart, and I can guarantee you that you're going to find a woman or a young woman walking around without a bra on, and you can see everything through the shirt. And, I've got I have a 16-year-old daughter, and I have a 13-year-old daughter. And I'm not letting them out of my house without a bra on. I'm not letting them walk out of my house with their ass cheeks showing.
Good man.
They'll be dressed appropriately, because
Mhm.
every man, every guy has a daughter out there. Every woman, every mother has a daughter out there. And people need to understand that in order for them to have the confidence and the respect for themselves, they need to let everybody else know, hey, look, in order to see what's underneath here, you have to respect me. You have to,
Right. Yeah. You got to earn it. No free lunches.
Exactly.
No free lunches.
That is true. But, I got way off topic on this one, but, Robert wouldn't even go in a porn store with me, man.
Fuck no, dude. I wouldn't go into a porn store today, dude.
What?
It's not because like I'm a prude or anything, but why is everything so fucking sticky?
Everything's so damn sticky.
And it's like I just imagine that everything is like sticky, and I do not need to stick to like fucking dildos and like porn tapes or whatever. It's like fuck that.
Why is everything so sticky?
Man, hey, I'm gonna tell you
It's also part of the reason why I won't go into a strip club either. Fuck that.
I've been to one, and one of my buddies walked out, and it was like the next day I went to his place, and the girl that was lap dancing for him and stuff, they were dating.
No, you don't date the stripper.
You never date the stripper.
No,
You
seriously,
you
like
never did.
I kid you not, David. Like in a 3 mile radius of my apartment, there's 6 strip clubs. Although I actually no, technically there's 5. One of the ones that I thought was a strip club turns out to be a gay bathhouse.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Roman Holiday.
I remember when we looked up the Yelp review on that place.
Because James, another like one of our founding members of the podcast, he was like, no, that's not a strip club. It's like I'm pretty goddamn sure. Roman Holiday. Like, come on, how is that not a strip club? I mean, there's no. All the windows are covered up. There's no like.
Yeah,
It's
there's
just
like
it's
one
all this.
door in the front. Yeah, there's no windows.
So we looked it up, and no, it's not a strip. I was wrong. It's not a strip club. It's a gay bathhouse.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What was like one of the features of that place was what is it? Free STD checks.
Whoa.
I remember that specifically. Because it's like one of the features, one of the perks of going to this place was a free STD check.
That's a light bulb coming off. That light bulb just said boom.
Uh,
Oh
And
man.
gross.
that guy's ass too. So yeah, afterwards. So
Hey, look here. I'm gonna tell y'all something. And I've told Robert about this, and I don't Andy, I'm gonna tell you, I'm very strong in my masculinity. I love myself, and I'll tell any man if he's a good looking fella, I'll let him know I'm not gay. But like I said, I'm on my second marriage. I'm happily married with the woman that I met with, and I have 4 beautiful, handsome children. And I was. You ever been to oh God, Hillcrest down there, right up above San Diego?
I have, yeah.
Oh, driven by, but not been to.
Look, man, I didn't know that was a gay city.
Oh
Is it
God,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
their West Hollywood? It's like San Diego's
Uh,
West Hollywood.
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
but it was
Yeah.
like
That's a good
I had
analogy. Yeah,
I had no clue about this place, and my roommate Ramanan, um, he turned around and told me. He said, "Hey, Chris is having a birthday party. We're going to this place. It's called Hamburger Mary's. It's got a little restaurant in it. It's got a dance place in it, and it's got a bar in it." And I'm like, "All right, cool, let's go. Who's all going?" So it was me, the chick I was going with, and Chris. And at the time, I had no clue that he was gay. His boyfriend, my roommate, and my buddy Jose. And we're all having a good time and everything like that. And I ordered my food. Like I said, very strong in my masculinity. I love myself. I get this. I I stand about 5'6". Okay.
Okay.
I'm not a short guy. I'm not a tall guy, but I'm not a short guy either. And this waitress comes up to me and hands me my check, zeroed out. I'm asking her like, how much do I owe? Because I paid for I was going to pay for my dinner and my date's dinner, you know,
Right.
and we were going to split the bill for the birthday boy. Well, she brings me my bill for me and my date.
Uh huh.
It had already been paid for. including my drinks.
Uh-huh.
God damn.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Well,
Some
I
special,
asked her, huh?
I'm
no,
telling you, dude.
continue,
Like,
continue,
it
continue.
doesn't matter. Men,
So,
women find him attractive. He gets hit if he wanted to.
so I turned around and asked her. I said, "Hey," I said, "Who paid for my dinner?
Mhm.
You know, who paid my bill? Because I really want to pay. You know, this is mine. I need to pay them. You know, give them their
Right.
money back." And she turns around and points me to this short, 4'4", 4'5" Mexican.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh, you got the moves. You got someone put the little Paco put the moves on you.
You were Goliath compared to this guy.
Yeah.
This dude looked at me, and I told him flat out, and I'll never forget it because it pissed me off so bad. You know, I looked at him. I gave him. I put $60 on his table and stuff, and that included the tip that he put on for the waitress.
Mhm.
And I turned around and told him, I said, "Look, dude," I said, "I'm straight. I like my vertical smiles. I'm not strictly, no dick goes near his mouth or his boot. Ain't happening." So he looks at me and he tells this dude who is literally sitting next to him, who looks like a white little midget Lou Ferrigno, looks at this dude and smiles and says, "I bet you he'll go home with me by the end of the night." I looked at my buddy,
Oh man.
my boy Chris, man. You would never in your wildest dreams, he didn't have a lisp. He wasn't feminine. He was very
My God.
he was very masculine. And his
Mhm.
boyfriend, his lover, was this 7 foot jacked up bodybuilder.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah. And I'm telling Chris about this crap, and his boyfriend's like, "Who is he? I'll go check him out." It's like, "Nah, dude, it's all right. It ain't that serious. I took care of it. It's okay." Well, the waitress comes back to me and hands me my $60.
Mhm.
And I said, "Well, if the dude's gonna pay for my food, he's gonna pay for my day's food. Hey guys, this is, I'm gonna go ahead and pay $60 on, on Chris's tab and boyfriend's tab for his birthday. Here you go. Happy birthday. Love you, dude." And as I'm walking out, this little Mexican dude is standing right outside.
Oh Lord.
I'm not into men. I like my vertical smiles. Matter of fact, I love my vertical smiles. And this dude
I think
is
that's
like,
all three of us. Yeah.
well, he goes,
I'm in that club.
"I'm a lesbian at heart. Trust me. I
Yeah, I know. I'm a
promise you."
lesbian. I may be a man on the outside, but inside me is beast the heart of a
Inside, I'm
lesbian.
all woman on the inside. Well, this dude is literally going, "Hey, yo, man. Hey, come here, man. Hey, come here." I'm like, "Dude, I done told you. You're strictly dickly. I'm not. I do women.
I like that. I like that.
I do women. Leave me the hell alone. People pay me for my
I'm totally using this. Oh God.
Oh,
but
that's just great.
I appreciate you paying for my food. I tried to pay you back. You wouldn't take it. So just go ahead and be like a Mexican jumping bean and get the fuck out of my face.
Oh my God.
Oh,
So
David, you're the best. You're the
so
best.
this dude, man, we went to a place, like I thought I was done with this dude.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of a place called Numbers?
No, I don't think so.
No.
And I don't know if they have it now, but that was back in 04, 05. No, it was 03 because I just got into the Navy. But it was a place called Numbers, and it was a gay club.
Okay.
As I thought it would be.
So we all go to this club again. Like I said, I had no clue where the hell I was at. I just know we were partying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I found out Hamburger Mary's was a gay place, and you know they didn't tell me nothing about going to Numbers. We were going to have a good time. That's all I cared about was making sure my boy's birthday was good.
Mm-hmm.
So Numbers, you got two bouncers. You got your first bouncer at the first door,
Mhm.
who you pay in order to get in.
Right.
Right.
The second bouncer checks you for weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I went in. I didn't have to pay my $10 coverage charge. And I didn't get checked by the second bouncer. This dude was all like, the first guy was like, hey, you can go ahead through. And 6 foot, this dude was
Go
jacked.
ahead, hot stuff.
Gas, you know,
Oh
and,
man.
you know, my buddy Jose showed up, my buddy Jerome showed up, you know, and you know, all of us was in there and we were having a good time. And I was looking around, I was like, dang, I was like, there's a lot of women around up in here.
Oh yeah, women love gay bars.
They weren't women.
Oh. Okay.
There was some women in there.
You want a piece of this?
Oh, they didn't sound like that. But
Oh,
there,
that's my fake porn site idea. Domasex.com.
oh
Oh
no,
yeah.
you in the wrong industry on that one. But so I'm like looking around, and you know, my buddy Jose, he's a tall, slender, he's gay. He loves the penis. Okay, he loves it. Well, this dude, and he knows me, and he's got his arm. You know, I'm type. You know, he knows his bounds, and because I've let him know where you know, what I can stand and what I can't stand, and you know, I'm a very open person. And he's got his arm around my waist, and I got my arm around his waist, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, dude, Jose, check this out, man. You in the wrong crowd, man. There's a lot of vertical smiles up in here tonight. He's like, hey, you might want to check again there, Bubba. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah. He goes, let's go over to the bar real quick. I want to show you something. So we go over to where the bartender's at. And she was a very beautiful, dirty blonde haired woman. And she had some freckles on her.
Oh, I
And
thought you were saying she had a giant cock.
well, she had one that was stirring the drink, but she she didn't have one on her personally. She was all woman. At least I hope so, because they weren't doing. I don't think they were doing sex changes back then. But not like they are now, fucking freaks. But
yes, please let us get a hate comment.
but so I'll start hitting on the bartender.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a typical guy in a club, and the bartender's cute, and I start hitting on her, and she's like, I don't I don't date customers. And I said, well, that's good because I'm not a customer. This is probably my first and only time that I'm coming up in here. And my buddy Jose, he turns around, he grabs my face and he looks at me and says, David, listen, you need to shut up, stop hitting on the woman, and look around your surroundings. Remember, you have a nice butt. You need to watch your butt.
Right.
I'm
You
like,
need
dude,
situational awareness. Situational awareness.
that was a must. And I had no clue what I was walking into.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm looking around and I'm scanning the area, you know, and I'm doing the whole military thing, you know. I'm like, I'm looking around, I'm selecting my next target and who I can talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Jose looked at me and goes, check out the throat on that one right there. Throat. And I look, Andy,
Oh.
this thing had a huge Adam's apple. I almost flipped out. So I went back to my group. My buddy Chris looks at me and goes, Dave, I really do appreciate you being here for my birthday. It's really awesome of you to come out and put your ideas to the side or your thoughts to the side so that we can have a good time and we can, you know, you don't get, you know, closed off and we can all have a good time. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, you haven't noticed how you've been acting? I said, no, I'm just me. He goes, you're in a gay community and you're straight. Oh, my bad. And I'm looking around and he's literally introducing me to these dudes who look more feminine than probably any chick that I've ever met before in my life at the moment. Because these dudes was like, God, 100 pounds, soaking wet, in a dress with long hair. And they would literally look like women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Hey, but I will say this is that was not the first night that I went there.
Okay.
Wait, that wasn't the last time, but that was your first time, right?
That was my first time, but it wasn't my
It
last
wasn't
time.
the last. Okay. Okay.
No, because I will say this: whatever it was about that club, it was honestly a gay man. If you're straight, they'll tell you you're handsome. They'll tell you you're cute. They'll buy you some drinks. But as long as you set that boundary, they won't go past it. And I'll give them props where props is due, because there's only been one guy that I've met that in that club, and I don't think he'll ever cross boundaries again, because he did that the second or third time that I went up there, and I don't think he'll ever cross those boundaries again, because we bringing up this almost $800 tab for him.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
This boy don't play. If I tell you don't touch me, don't touch me. He touched my butt.
Dang.
He did the wrong thing. He touched me after I asked him not to, and then he turned around and told the bartender to put me on his tab. And I got friends that know how to drink. So
Hell hath no fury.
hey, in order just to make sure it would get his point across, because I tried to explain to him, don't touch me. We'll be fine. You can shake. We can shake hands and all that. Don't touch me. Don't even try to kiss me. And the bartender actually had to get the bouncer to come over because the guy was trying to get a little handsy. And that's whenever I decided to say, okay, we want to play this route. I got about 10 friends of mine that's sitting over there at that table. And we all living off military salaries.
Yeah.
He was
I've
a
never
corporate
been.
man.
He was a corporate man?
Oh, dude, he had a nice suit on, nice tie on. Him and his buddies up at his table were drinking some kind of sparkly champagne.
Mhm.
And hey, we was drinking shots of vodka, shots of whatever else we could get our damn hands on before they shut the doors at 2:30 in the morning.
Nice.
He didn't like it.
Nice.
I don't think he liked his bill.
But it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you have, if you're a stickly dickly or strictly dickly, as he aptly put it, or you have a virtual smile, they'll throw themselves at him.
I mean, I've never been to a gay club, although there were a few opportunities presented, but I've never been. But I have been told that I probably do very well there.
You would. You're a good-looking fella.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
But it's funny because I've never, even though I've never been to a gay club, it's so weird because even going out to just like a non-gay club, it always ends up people buying me drinks.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. It's I don't know exactly what cause. I don't know what causes them to do it, but it just ends up happening. It's so weird.
Sparkling personality.
Maybe.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Oh, no. What was it? Damn, I had a brain fart. I forgot what I was going to say.
Has something to do with bars?
No. I don't think me and you never went to a bar together, did we?
No, we never did. If you ever come back to California, or I head over there, we'll definitely do that together.
Oh, yeah, we definitely got to do that. I will say this is I've had some interesting times through the military. I think one of my favorite ones was definitely the chick from Blockbuster.
I don't know if I remember this story either.
Ooh.
And Rob, there's a lot of things you forgot about your time in the Navy.
Well, hey,
you got to think. You got to think for a second.
To be fair, I've been out of the Navy since 2008. So yeah, it's that's 12 years ago.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long
I guess.
time.
Yeah.
Well, my most memorable times in the Navy were with this jackass over here. So
look, man, it was just a way to pass time sometimes with you to try to get you to do shit that you weren't comfortable with.
now, here's the thing. Like, so back then, it fucking pissed me off that like you kept like, come on, man, just do it. Yeah, just do it. It's fine. Just do it. nowadays I'm you, dude. I'm doing that to like some of my like more shy friends that are like, no man, I can't do it. It's like I'm you in these situations.
Yeah, the roles have reversed.
Yeah.
Far and away.
Now I'm a grumpy old man. I don't give a fuck anymore. So yeah.
Well, here, check this out. Friggin', I will say this one is, if you ever, before I met my wife, I was in a relationship with another woman, and we were married, and we had kids. And we ended up getting divorced, and um, huh?
I know I've heard a lot of these stories. Boo boy.
Well, I was working for a propane company, and I won't say which one.
Propane accessories.
Propane accessories. That's right. Yes, sir.
Damn it, Bobby!
Although you were more of the Joe Jack of
Joe Jack.
I was delivering to houses and restaurants, and the things that I have seen through delivering propane. No, I'd choose to go to Iraq again.
Wow.
There's things
Wow.
that people say that just look at me. I would literally look at them and be like, "You shitting me? This really gonna happen like this?" I love some people and I hate some people. It is utterly ridiculous on how some people are. But I ran into a old girlfriend's mom from high school.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
This chick, like when I dated her, when me and her were boyfriend girlfriend in high school, she was nuts. Like she was awesome. I was not a virgin. She was a virgin, and she literally, her mom, like I don't know what it was, but her mom set me up. Like I didn't even remember. She remembered me, and then she told me who her daughter was, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember her. And I was, like I said, I was newly single and wanted somebody to talk to, so I gave her mom my phone number. He passed it along to her daughter. Yeah, well, her daughter decided to give me a call. We started talking again. I asked her how she was doing. She told me I think she had like 3 kids at the time. But she told me that she was divorced.
Oh
I
yeah. Oh
I
yes,
should have
I do. I remember this story. Oh God.
I should have checked into that story a little bit more. Because heck, her mom even told me that she was divorced.
So well, okay. So I there was a time where there was some chick that like kept sending you like pictures of her
That,
vertical smile. Was that was this the same girl that was sending you these pictures, or is this like someone different?
oh, this is the same one.
Okay, yeah. So this chick like kept
That
sending him.
that
Oh my God.
but we what was it? So I'll get to what he's alluding to here in a second. Some of that we can't talk about there, buddy.
Okay. All right, now that you pay us money.
Yeah, I might get into some of that stuff. But so we were talking, and I've told Robert everything about this girl. Everything is ridiculous with this one because she would literally, like, I didn't know that she was married. I thought she was divorced, and because I was being told that she was divorced, and
Not your fault.
you know, we were hanging out at the playgrounds. You know, we were bringing the kids around each other and everything like that, and you know, I was never allowed to tell her kids my real name.
Oh,
Oh, dang. Red flag.
Yeah. Like, she always called, she always called
what were
me.
you like, Bill? Was your name like Bill in this situation?
No, she always called me Michael. Because, Michael's my middle name, so that's what she was calling me. And for the life of me, I couldn't remember. I never understood why she was doing that.
Mhm.
And then fucking like that.
So I turned around one day and we were talking, and I asked her, I said, look, why do you keep calling me by my middle name? And that's when she turned around and told me. She said, well, when I take the kids home, they go, anytime they want to go see their dad, they go see their dad, and I don't want no issues with him. So your name is like the forbidden name in the house. So when
Jesus.
I would text her mom, not her mom, but her sister turned around and, had it in her phone that I was the forbidden fruit.
What?
Are you like legitimately, like actually in the phone book of her sister's phone, under your number it said the forbidden fruit?
Forbidden fruit.
Jesus.
That should be your nickname, dude.
Right.
So I'm like sitting there and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And I'm looking at her phone. And that's how I found out. I had her phone in my hand, and I had texted her and stuff so that way she wouldn't forget something. And that's how I found out. It just popped up. And I said, well, what is this about? And she turned around and she told me, she said, well, my ex pays the phone bill still. So, if he wants the phone back, then I have to give it back to him. And I don't want issues. So that's our compromise for everything. So he don't have to pay child support. Whatever. So
okay.
we ended up hooking up, and after the first and second time that we had hooked up, dude, I gave her the nickname of Onion.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait,
oh my God.
It's not what you think. It's worse.
It's worse than what I'm thinking right now? Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
Hey, look here, I like going down and having a snack every once in a while, but my tongue wouldn't
Oh my God, how could it be worse than what I'm thinking?
Well, what are you thinking? You thinking about the vertical smile?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely right on that one.
Oh. Oh, God. Robert, what the heck? You're like...
Well, when you think of like someone being, an onion, like, oh, they got a lot of layers to them. Layers are crazy.
Oh, there you go, donkey.
Oh, that's not where my mind first goes.
Okay, well, never mind. Yeah, okay, then your mind was in the right place, Andy.
Yeah, exactly. My mind is exactly calibrated properly for this specific story.
Here, I'll show you something real quick. And this is what gets a lot of females is they will literally tell you, never seen anything like it before. I have a exceptionally long tongue. And it drives them
Okay.
nuts. So
It's almost on a Gene Simmons level.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I can put it. I'll put it to you this way: the tip of my tongue can touch the tip of my nose, and it can touch down to here on my chin.
Wow,
So
that's what's up.
yeah, she, like I said, this girl's known me since high school, and it's just, like I've told Robert, is something ain't right. There's the bats in Belfry have all died and went to heaven or hell or wherever because this chick is nuts. Well,
Yeah, she is.
dude, we were texting in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was her, and she was sending. I was getting these pictures of her breast and her butt, her vagina.
Which I also received because he would send them.
But it was messed up because it was her husband sending it to me.
Whoa!
Yeah, I see. You didn't tell me that.
Plot twist. This is why you watch the podcast.
But it was messed up because it was like I had no clue until I turned around and told her. I said, "Hey," I said, "Listen," I said, "I'll be around tomorrow. You want to hang out? Give me a shout." And he's like, "Yeah, motherfucker, I got you."
Whoa!
What
Tunnel shit.
the hell? Yeah. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, this has got to be her dad. So I'm like, all right, whatever pops. I'll see you tomorrow. So I put down my phone, and next thing you know, that next morning I'm getting up, I'm going, I'm walking out the door to go to work, and she's blowing up my phone, trying to call me. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Well, that's when she turned around and finally told me, I got something to tell you. You're not gonna like it, but I'm trying to get out of the situation that I'm in. And I said, look, just spit it out. I know your dad found your phone last night, and your dad don't like me. He don't want you talking to me. So just tell me what's up. You don't want to talk to me. You don't want to see me because of your dad. That's fine. She goes, no, that was my husband. Well, you have a nice day. You have a nice life. Don't contact me again. So I hung up the phone with her. I blocked her on Facebook, and I turned around and I went on about my life. Well, 6 months come down the road.
You alone.
Huh?
She wouldn't leave you alone.
Oh no. Dude, it was literally like every once a week, twice a week, I would get messages from a different Facebook account, or I was getting I would get a tit pic from her. It was just random messages here and there. Matter of fact, she messaged me one time from on my email account.
Mm.
And I had never given her my email address.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I turned around and I messaged her back and I said, listen, I said, you're married. I'm not married. I'm legally separated. I'm going through a divorce. I'm not looking to get into a relationship. I'm just playing the field, and I'm wanting to have a good time. I'm wanting to be there for my children. and wouldn't get the hint, dude. Would not at all. So finally, I turned around and I met up with her mom, and I told her mom what was going on. And she was like, no, she's actually separated from the fella. She's not married to him. You know, she's still married to him technically, but she's separated from him and doesn't want nothing to do with him. All right, I'll talk to her and see what's going on.
Oh, brother. Oh.
Oh, dude. Man, this is her mom now. This is her mom. You know, this is her mom telling me this stuff.
Okay, yeah. Like you're like, 'cause she said you know, because she did so right by you the first time.
Yeah, I know, but well, come to find out, and this is actually like a really funny part is
I hope it's a story that I want you to tell.
come to find out the mom had been trying to break them two up for years. She couldn't stand this dude for nothing,
Oh,
even though he's the
oh my
father
gosh.
of two great kids. This poor bastard couldn't catch a break with his mother-in-law.
Oh.
So now, fast forward years later. Yes, I hooked up with her a couple times. Yes, she's actually showed up to. It was about. I want to say it was about 3 months before I met my current wife. She showed up at my house while I was at work. My landlord was outside cutting my grass. She pretended to be my ex-wife and was telling my landlord that me and her were getting back together,
Mm-hmm.
and that we were, in the midst of talking, which was
Yeah,
not true.
reconciling or whatever.
Yeah, there's no way in hell that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Hell would probably have to freeze over, and that still wouldn't happen. Because I'd stand on a throne and say, like this motherfucker, please. So I'm sitting there, and my landlord calls me up and he's telling me this, short, blonde haired girl is, at my door. She's wanting to know if she can come in. And my ex was supposed to be coming to get some stuff for the kids anyway. I just didn't know when she was coming. She was supposed to come after I got off work, and I thought it was her. So I said, yeah, I said, you can, let her in. She'll go in there, she'll get what she needs, and then she'll leave. Well, he had to leave. There was an emergency with his son. So he had to leave early. I got home and she's sitting butt naked on my couch. Couldn't ask for anything better at the time.
At that time, of course, at that time, all right. He's a
At
changed
the time.
He's a changed man, folks. All right.
Now see if it goes if it like let's say she was fully clothed to naked, hey, it could be a different story.
No, I literally had to, like, one thing led to another. Yes, some things happened. Her phone went off, and on the screen of the phone it said my hubby.
Oh, jeez.
When asked about it, it was we were talking about getting back together. We reconciled. We did this. We did that. Get out of my house. Well, what about my clothes? I don't care about your clothes. Either get them on or take them off. I don't care. But you getting out my house one way or the other. I will call the law. I had to call the law.
Holy shit!
Damn.
I don't play.
Damn.
I had to call the law. So called the law. Had them come out, and literally probably about It probably took about 5 minutes for them to get her out of my house.
5 minutes.
God damn.
She
I mean,
was
it
telling me,
wasn't 15 or 50, but still 5 minutes.
well, the whole thing is the fact that she didn't want to go home. She wanted to be with her kids, but she didn't want to be with the husband that she was with because he was cheating on her. He had been cheating on her with some like 300+ pound women, which, okay,
Hmm.
plus size women need loving too, okay? There's somebody out there for you.
Hey,
I'm just not one of them.
this sounds like a Maury episode.
Seriously, or Sally Jesse,
Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer.
See, dude, I think this is why we get along so well because our family and like personal lives, like it is like a Jerry Springer episode.
Oh man, I hate it.
I mean, hell, if you've ever seen an episode of Cops or Maury Povich or Jerry Springer, you know my family.
Oh, bro, I'd be the one wearing a wife beater with a spaghetti stand on it, going,
with the cops knee in your back, like.
yeah, you're stepping on my sandwich. Get off of it.
Wow.
Your knees on my roach, man. I gotta have that for tomorrow. I don't have money for the rest of it. You're going to jail, sir. Well, do I gotta do a drug test? No. Sweet. But no, so she gave a whole spew on, this fella, and Scott said, look, you're married to him, you gotta go home. Sorry, bye, get out. So she left. Ain't heard nothing from her for a while, and I met my wife, and which me and her, thankfully she answered my message that I sent her because we actually met on a dating website called Plenty of Fish, and
All
I
right, another dating website wins.
shut up, asshole. But
Hey, no. I'm saying that actually in a positive way because
Yeah.
our last
He's being sincere.
that we
oh,
I'm
okay.
being sincere. Our last episode, my friend who was on he met his wife through a dating app. I
Oh,
met
okay.
my current girlfriend through a dating app, and you met your wife through a dating app. So yeah, for the win.
Hey, there you
Mazel
go.
tov.
Lime.
The highlight. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing the whole online dating thing wrong. I haven't had a match in like 3 years.
Ah, well, that might be a problem.
Yeah.
But no,
I don't know.
I met her. Matter of fact, the one thing that caught me was it wasn't even like I'd seen her picture,
Mhm.
and I love my wife's eyes. My wife's eyes are beautiful. They're nice crystal blue eyes, and I've
Mhm.
never seen it. Besides mine, I've never seen a pair of eyes like hers. And what really caught me to her was I wanted, because I have my son and my daughter and my son, and she has her daughter and son. What caught me was her bio, and
Mhm.
her bio was is my children come first, and if you can't handle that, then you're not worth my time. And I wrote her and I said, hey, I said, I was reading your profile about your about your kids coming first. I have 2 children, and come to find out, ironically, my children actually knew her children from school.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was a plus. That was a big check in my book for me. But and my children love her. Yeah, my son, he's 10 years old, and he's a little asshole. He's me at 10. He's not my
I know.
10-year-old.
We've played Destiny together. So I know.
No, you're thinking of RJ. You've never played with Christian.
Did I ever play? I thought I played with Christian before.
You might have once before, but Christian, he's my doppelganger. He literally, that youngin, besides being 10 years old and being 130 pounds, he's my spitting image.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we didn't play the same game together, but like, yeah, he
Hey,
was online. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but
He's
you
you.
know,
He's definitely you.
she takes care of my kids like they're her own, and I take care of hers like they're my own, and that's how we work.
Mm.
But um, this one chick, man, what was it? I ran into uh, I ran into her sister, and her sister turned around and told me some information about this girl. The one I was just telling you about, the one I said was Onion.
Mm.
Uh, and in a way, I feel kind of bad for her, but in a way, I don't. You know,
Mm.
I've completely cut her off and don't have nothing to do with her. And, that's out of respect for my wife. And and I told Robert about this one the other day, is her, her husband took her over to her mom and dad's house.
That's a great story.
Her husband took her over to her mom and dad's house with the children.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Told her that she was, and this was a while back. I'm just finding this out recently. Took her over there with the kids, dropped them off, and told her that he forgot something and needed to go back and get it. Well, he left them there, went home, changed all the locks in the house,
Oh.
literally emptied out the house except for what was in with his stuff and put it outside. Called her up and told
Savage.
her that turned around and called her up and told her that he had an emergency at work, that he had to go out of town, and that she needed to stay at her mama's house. Well, it was a good thing that she did, because everything that she had in that house was not there no more. They had clothes and bags and stuff for the kids and stuff to be able to stay at grandma's, because that's what they usually did when they went and seen grandma and grandpa. Well, yeah, he didn't come back for a couple of days. He turned around and came back, called her up and said, "Hey, I thought you would have come back over to the house by now and seen that your stuff was out on the side of the road. You might want to come get it. I want a
oh,
divorce." Like, literally left this chick over there for a couple of days. And she never went
wow.
back to her house, did nothing for the kids or nothing for her. And now she's flat broke, and now she's living back with her mom and daddy.
Uh,
And like I told the sister that told me this information, is, you cheat on your husband, and your husband cheats on you. Two wrongs don't make a right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening and you're looking at me saying, "Oh, you're a hypocrite. You helped cheat. You helped her." Look, I was being told something totally different, and I didn't check into it. And my ass was single.
Yeah, different story.
Different story.
So it's, yes, there was kids involved, but I was not the ones who brought the children in. That was not my fault. So y'all can hate me, love me, whatever. It
He
don't
was
hurt me now.
operating with bad intel.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
oh yeah, definitely.
He's operating on bad intel.
Thank you, sir.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Hey, see, Andy knows. Andy knows.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, I
that
know. I
intel is.
understand. I understand.
I will say this. You know, like me and Robert and you, Andy, have talked about, is, you know, me and Robert been in the military. I've been overseas. I've been in Iraq. I'm a combat veteran. I was a hospital corpsman in the Navy, and you know, Bad intel is bad intel, man.
Yeah, there's literally nothing you can do. All right, you're just presented with the intel, and it happened to be bad. Sometimes
Like
sometimes you kill the terrorist, sometimes you kill a wedding party. But
Oh, dude.
hey, but no, I will say this for the people out there who think I'm an asshole or a jerk is I am.
Like I said, you have to be
that's right.
unapologetic about it.
I know.
I
Steer into the skid. Steer into the skid.
Yeah, and but my wife will tell you I'm a good man. I take care of my household. I will because that's my job as a husband and as a man. I do what I need to do in order to get things by for my children and for my wife and for my family. And if you doubt me, that's on you. I don't give a shit. But
Well said.
but what was it? Um, God, trying to think. Let's see. Do you still hang out with Oh, not Peter. What's the other fellow? Starts with an F.
Franklin.
Yes.
Yeah, I not as much as I used to, but yeah, I still see him every once in a while.
That was Robert's lover.
What? What?
Well, I'm gonna
No.
say no, but like I want to hear like what you why you think that's even a remote possibility.
Oh no, man. I'm just messing with you. I'm just
Okay,
messing.
I was like, what?
No, if you were gonna mess with anybody, it would be that one chick that I was talking about earlier.
Dude, so yeah, that girl. There was that
Whatever
was
happened?
interesting. So, well, she's married now. Um,
Miss
and I was close friends with like because I'm close friends like with her where I was close friends with her brother, and because Peter and I are like we kind of tell each other everything, so kind of like how I tell you stuff, and I was hanging out with his sister a lot, and my other friend who was this girl's brother was telling Peter how like, oh, it's messed up. Like, how dare he like hang out with my sister and all this stuff. It's like he's not right for her, blah blah blah, and saying all this shit about me. I was like, what? Well, first of all, like, screw you. That I'm your friend, but you think that like I'm trying to like corrupt your sister. Like, it's first of all, that's like already like that's happened way before I came into this picture. And then, but one of the things that like kind of um ended things between us is she started to become kind of a flake, and I was like, nah, I can't handle that. Like, if you say you're gonna be somewhere, you be somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't.
Mm.
Yeah, that and when I end up showing up to a place, if you end up like, hey, you cancel like I'm there, you cancel like once or maybe twice, yeah, that's fine. But like three strikes, you're out, dude. Like I was like after that, I was like, fuck this, like no way. And so that's kind of like how things kind of ended between us. I don't
Mm.
really, I just know that she's married now, but like it's not like
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm.
Um, and then like I've been kind of like with like there was like other people that I've kind of I've been with that didn't work out, the person I was with the longest was my ex. That was like a 10-year thing that I was with her, and
Dude, that shit was nuts. Dude,
Don't we know
you were
it?
accurate in saying you
were
were
you able to
accurate.
go to the bathroom without her like texting you or calling you or anything like that? Were you able to shake one off and be like, "Look, I'm chilling out"?
It was one of those things where like you were accurate in saying that I do take a lot of shit from people for a while, and it's just like it kind of just, and after a while there was a lot
Yeah,
of other too.
yeah. Because I'm gonna tell you what, man. When you called, when I called you that one evening, and like you had put some really bad posts on Facebook, and that wasn't a Robert I knew, and I called you up right after I seen that post, and I was like, dude, we need to sit down and have a powwow. What the fuck, what the hell's going on? And, you were telling me some stuff, and I told you right then and there to, cut that cord.
Yeah, no, and you were definitely right in that moment. It was a bad situation, and um,
Were you able to go
you know,
sit on the toilet and take a shit without her texting you?
there was there was a time where it was like no, it was like god damn, like there's a difference between like being like where like you want to be with that person and being needy, and it
Mm,
was needy to the point where it's like I this is too much. Like you have to be somewhat independent.
hey, like I tell,
But
like
then
I tell,
all of a sudden, like it was a situation where I was. It went from being like that to like she like did something else, and I was thrown away like a piece of garbage. It's like what the fuck is
Mhm.
it? It's like
I've been there, and I know how that feels too.
I was like, okay, first of all, like this, and uh, it's not something I want to necessarily get into on the podcast. Obviously I'll tell you at a
Yeah.
different time. But oh fuck, dude, it was bad.
Well, like
Um,
I tell my kid,
and honestly, there was even more like within the last like month or so with this chick, and
oh,
I'm just like, you know what, like it's kind of like, hey, fuck you.
yep. It's kind of like you got to turn around and tell them, hey, look, hold out both your hands where your palms are facing the sky, shit in one hand and want in the other, and you tell me which one fills up faster.
Yeah, no, no, dude. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, I finally like kind of, kind of like, kind of told her off, and goddamn, it felt great.
Man, sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to
Yeah,
let that voice out.
it felt great. Don't get me wrong. I was meaner than I normally am, but oh, it was necessary.
Oh, damn. I know that feeling too. But I hate to do it, guys. My phone is actually about to die.
All right, man.
Yeah. Let's
Um,
wrap things up.
Yeah. 'Cause it's almost
well,
1:39 where I'm at.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, like we have barely even like scratched
Scratch
the
the
surface.
surface.
There is so much more that we can get into, and we're definitely gonna have uh my brother David on again, just to
Yeah,
issue
yeah,
so
time.
many takes. And I love having him on. I'm so happy you were here. thank you for coming on.
Not a problem.
Yeah, is there?
Yeah, it was good meeting you, David.
It was good meeting you too, Andy. You're a good fella.
Likewise.
Yeah, I don't know if you do any like social media stuff. Is there any way like people can reach you, or is this or is our platform the only way that people are gonna like get to know you?
The platform they can get to know me.
All right,
All
sounds
right.
good. All right, so if you're watching the episode, if you want to catch more Circle of Jerks content, you can check our library of past podcasts. I think this is episode 29, so there's definitely a lot of episodes to watch. If you want to catch Andy and myself talking about movies, news, current events, or innocuous bullshit, Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock ish, we do nocturnal transmissions. That's always fun. Join the chat, especially in this quote unquote pandemic. You got nothing else to do. Why come check out our channel? Come converse with us. We'll
Yeah.
definitely interact. If you like old old gaming content, check out our show Up by Up Down with me, and enjoy that. There's some more content coming out for that here, hopefully coming up soon after the after this whole fucking pandemic crap comes out and it settles out. And if you want to reach us on social media, interact with us. Twitter at podcastcoj, letterboxd at podcastcoj, and Instagram is Circle of Jerks podcast. We're always posting stuff. We're always talking about stuff going on. So come join us. Come converse with us. Come check out the channel. Like, subscribe. Comment, all that good stuff. And we'll definitely see you next time. And have a great evening.
See you later.
Deuces.